shame I've been divorced 2 times over dumb shit. I'm ashamed my son call another nigga pops, cause his mom still bitter we didn't work it out.
YouTube, what's going on? I know you guys are like, where is our girl Angie at? Oh man, we haven't seen her in almost a month. These YouTube streets have been going crazy. Our brother Kwame been beefing nonstop. They about to burn the whole world down over the right to have abortion. And y'all, I had an awesome show lined up for y'all tonight. But the internet is acting up. The internet does not want you guys to hear this message. And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I gotta try it at least one more time. Let me see if I can get this going, y'all, because it's really just I don't understand what's happening here. And I know how y'all get. I know y'all get impatient. And y'all like, what's going on? Give us the tea. First of all, let me start off by saying this. I'm actually glad that Roe v. Wade was overturned, okay? Glad Roe v. Wade was overturned for several reasons. For one, because it saves Black life, okay? Whether people want to acknowledge that fact or not, it actually saves Black life. Reality really set in for me watching all of these people come to the front line and want to ask Joe Biden to extend emergency powers and have executive action when it comes to us aborting our children. But none of them want to come to the forefront and ask Joe Biden to extend those executive orders or actions when it comes to giving us an anti-Black hate crime bill, or when it comes to giving us reparations. It was really disheartening to see so many, y'all, and I mean so many Black women, Black people that is supposed to be the voice and the representation for us, basically talk about how upset they were because this had happened. Not only that, there are a bunch of things coming out now in regards to them trying to tie the access to abortion to Black women dying in the hospitals. I broke this down for y'all time and time again. Told y'all we've been giving birth since the beginning of time. The only way we dying 3 times likely to white women giving birth to our children is that they are killing us. There is no way you can convince me to believe that we went from our grandmothers giving birth to 10, 12, 15 children to now all of a sudden we 3 times likely to die from giving birth to our children. And so, I have all the receipts. I want to give you guys an awesome show. But again, for some reason, this is not coming up. Let me try it again because I want to get us started. We need to get into this. I think I'm going to have to log out of here for a minute. If y'all want this show to go on tonight, you guys are going to have to give me at least 10 minutes. If we could take a 10-minute, I don't even need 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. If we could take a 5-minute intermission, I'm thinking I can get my husband to do something to get this internet going where I can play these clips and these videos for y'all. So give me about 5 minutes, guys. Talk in the comments. I'll be able to read them while we have this downtime. Talk about how you guys feel, about Roe v. Wade and about seeing all of these celebrities and entertainers and, congressmen, and candidates have something to say about us having the right to abort, but they ain't have nothing at all to say about an anti-hate crime bill. Y'all stay with us for a second. Should be right back. Can y'all hear me? We back. Okay, we back. Wait a minute. I think we got something going here. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second. Let's go. Let's see where we at. Okay, we back. You guys can hear. Okay, let me pull up a screen. Hold on one second. Let's see here. Because people need to know what is going on. Let's see if this is working. Do we finally got this working? Finally got this working. All right. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's go. So, welcome back, everybody, because I was saying we had an issue with the internet or whatever, so we got that worked out. Had to move some things around. Today, we're talking about Roe v. Wade. Now, I have been missing in action for a minute, and I know a lot of people are like, hey, where the heck have you been? Well, you guys know where I've been. They have been censoring my channel. They suspended my page, and they suspended my page because I put up a post about the drag queens during Pride Month. As we know, there are a lot of drag shows and stuff popping up all over. And so there was a drag show about 3 weeks ago. And on this drag show, you could see these little kids basically in a drag show. And on the sign on the wall, it said that it's not going to lick itself. So this is supposed to be some type of family-friendly drag show, they said. But it was at a gay bar called Mr. Gay Bar or something like that. And there was a lot of explicit stuff going on. Children dancing in front of the sign. It's not going to lick itself. And so I posted the video, and they said that me posting the video that I was inciting hate speech. And I'm like, hate speech? How in the world is it hate speech? I'm just sharing with the people what has been done. And so that's what's been going on with me. And I think that they, probably just sit up and just watch my page, and anything that I post, you know what I'm saying, they're probably reporting because they want to make it feel as though it's an attack. Like they want to make it as if you can't even talk about these things or discuss these things, right? But these things have to be discussed because we got to talk about what's going on with our children. Now, I put up a video the other day because I was in my feelings, because I know a lot of you all have been looking for me. I was in my feelings, and I said that I'm retiring from politics, and I still feel the same way. I feel like that because it breaks my heart to see that we have so many people willing to stand up and fight for us to have the right to abort our children, but we don't have that same energy when it comes to protecting Black life. We don't have that same energy when it comes to preserving Black life. To see people like Stacey Abrams, Nakima Williams done popped her head out of the dirt, right? Lori Lightfoot, to see these people put up posts about where our daughters can go get abortions from, but ain't nobody putting up no post about where we can go to become first-time homeowners. Ain't nobody putting up no post about where we can go to get and have access to loans. Ain't nobody putting no post-ups about, how we can get access to financial literacy. So it's a problem when these people, the only thing they have to offer is abortion. So I want y'all to listen to this video, to this clip that I put up the other day on my IG page, and then I'll be back in just a minute. But this is going to give you guys a lot of context into why I'm in my feelings. Just cannot believe that there are so many people willing to stand up for us to have the right to abort, but they don't have anything at all to say when it comes time for anti-hate crime legislation.
Y'all on bingo, let's give IG a little. Okay, we back.
Hopefully you all can hear me. Okay, so the title, first of all, I want to say happy Sunday to everybody, and I hope that you all, if you didn't go to church this morning, because let me tell y'all something, I went to church, and I was somebody who said I would never stepping foot back into a church house, right? But I got up this morning and I went to church, and when I tell you that message resonated with me, it was talking about being at peace. And the message was that death is like peace, right? And so he was speaking about how now in this new transformation, you can be dead to certain things, right? Dead to responding to everybody, dead to trying to prove why God favors you, dead to why you want to make people think that you need to be their friend, dead to having to respond to every comment, just being at peace. And so this has been one hell of a ride for me. It has been an emotional ride for me. And I'm going to tell you why it's been an emotional ride for me. it's been an emotional ride for me because I went in understanding the purpose and the need for the people, but not the purpose and the need for the politics, right? Do you hear me? But not the purpose and the need for the politics. And what I mean by that is I'm a person, and I'm not saying that I'm the only person, because there probably are a lot of people in politics that feel the way that I do, that really, really, really was fighting for the better good, right? Of humanity as a whole, but also being very honest and bold and profound when it came to the Black community, right? I ain't never had a problem saying I represented the Black community. I hate on y'all own too, but a lot of the hate that I was getting, hey, don't listen. But everybody got something to say. When I was a child, I was ungrateful too. I ain't understand the struggle. The minute I say something about an anti, and then the minute that you get caught in a crossfire, the children to live. I'm mad at both of them. I can't do it. I got a problem with that. I don't care if you pro-choice or if you pro-life. You should have a problem with that. You should have a problem that when our elders was up there murder, I ain't Trump. Don't be asking me to Trump quit. I ain't got Trump money. I can't create a whole network and start my own censorship platform. Don't compare me to Trump. I'm not Trump. And I don't have that white skin, because white privilege is a real thing. We speaking in truth this morning. It does not matter. If you are a Democrat, if you pro-choice or pro-life, explain to me, where were these people at when our elders got shot dead in Buffalo, shot dead down there in South Carolina? Everybody quiet. Ain't nobody got nothing to say. Y'all ain't asking for no anti-hate crime bill. Y'all ain't asking for no reparations. Y'all not asking for them to get a new grocery store up there in Buffalo. But your motherfucking ass is asking them to abort our children. How? How? Like, it's not even fair. It's not even fair. If you can ask for our children to die, you can at least ask for our children to live. I'm mad at both of them. I can't do it. I can't be stuck where people in the Black community that need to get what I'm saying, but they're not even listening, because the first thing these people doing is saying that I'm a Republican. Then I'm over here with the Republican Party, showing up, doing engagement, using my platform, losing all my damn platforms. Hell, Twitter deleted, Instagram deleted, YouTube suspended, because I'm trying to stand on a platform that ain't willing to stand with me when I'm standing for my people. I am Black before I'm part of a party. I came out my mama ass Black, and I'm gonna die Black. And that's just the bottom line. Now, I'm mad at Black people too. I'm mad at us too. I'm mad. Let me tell you why I'm mad at us. I'm mad at us because for the past 2 years, we've been screaming Black Lives Matter while aborting our children the whole time. We've been screaming Black Lives Matter. We've been showing up to protest the deaths of Black men, and now you want to show up to protest the right to murder our Black children. We've been screaming Black Lives Matter for the past 2 years while aborting our children. And the minute a white person say white lives matter, you mad. You done lost focus. Why white lives can't matter to them? They white. What y'all expect? If white people are smart enough to say, listen, our numbers getting low, we losing power, we need to do something, we need to come together and we need to stop these abortions. How you mad at that? How you mad that white people smart enough to preserve their race, and while they fighting to preserve their race, y'all sitting up here, not all of us, praying and singing to God, please, God, let us have an abortion. I can't deal with that. I insanity. I can't, you crying about being a minority and then begging God for the right to execute your own babies. You mad, white people talking about thank you for saving white life, but the whole while you trying to thank God for giving you a right to end black life. I can't do it. I can't do it. Y'all stressing me out. My hair turning gray. I really do care. I care about all babies, but because I understand the systemic racism behind abortion, I have to be a voice. I have to speak up. I have to talk about what's going on in the black community. I have to make us aware that we shouldn't be mad right now. We need to be glad right now. Everybody coming and telling me, oh, Angela, they're having more abortions than us. You know, they're having 37% we're having 37% of abortions and they're having 37%. Their numbers are getting low. Y'all don't understand that we are only 13% of the population. If you are only 13% of the population and you having 37% of abortions, that's an issue. More black babies are being aborted than are being born alive. And this is, listen, it's not why am I and other black people like me being attacked for that? Why is it wrong to say, no, wait a minute, don't abort our babies? Why is it wrong to say our babies deserve to live? I don't give a damn if they gay, straight, cricket. Before all that come into play, they babies. Why is it wrong to say in order for black lives to matter, black life has to be born? Why is it wrong to say, right, in order for black lives to matter, right, we need to protect our black men. We need to protect our black boys. We need to protect our black babies, because before he become a man, he is a boy. And before he becomes a boy, he is a baby. And before he becomes a baby, he is a seed in the scrotum of a black man. What don't y'all get? Now, I just want to come on here and say, yes, y'all, I'm already in this. I'm already preaching in my feelings when I recorded this right here. And somebody is saying we're more than 13% in the comments that they're lying. And I want y'all to be clear of something. Y'all got to know now they lumped us in with everybody else. Every time y'all hear them talking, they say people of color. Well, people of color, that's black and brown people. They no longer counting us or allowing us to stand alone. But for some reason, when it comes to, white people, it's white people and then it's people of color. So let's not be misled because we see videos going around of them saying they want to save the white race and all of that. Yeah, if they want to save the white race, why should we be upset, right? If they're working to save the white race, what are we doing to save our race? And although we are just 13% of the overall population, we're having 37% of the abortions. Please don't get it twisted. They don't have abortion clinics in those white wealthy neighborhoods. The abortion clinics are in our neighborhoods. And with the overturning of ROE V Wade, it's not just ending abortion, it's putting it back on the states. It's putting it back on the states. Let's finish listening to this video, and then we're going to get into how they are tying this maternity death rate to black women, and also saying that we're basically going to die without abortion. I'm watching CNN. I'm watching all of these news articles, and now all of a sudden they have black transgender men being the voice for black women. How are y'all tying abortion to LGBTQ when chances are if you part of LGBTQ, you ain't getting pregnant or making no babies no way? Because two men cannot create life. Two women cannot create life. How are they tying abortion to discrimination against LGBTQ? We're going to get into that. Let's finish listening. We all focus. And donate, y'all. Donate. Hit the Cash App. They done had us down for a whole month. support the channel. Hit the Cash App. They won't allow us to monetize, and now we got another strike. Ain't no telling what's gonna happen. If you watching tonight, 500 people on the live. I haven't been here in a minute. Y'all please support. Hit the Cash App. Let's go. Everything we seeing right now, oh, the white people, they saved white life. The white people saved white life. Kudos to them. The whole while I'm over here screaming, let's save black life. If I had been at that event with Trump, as soon as she thanked them for white life, hell, I probably would have beat her to it. I probably would have been thanking them for black life the minute I saw them, because I understand the systemic racism in abortion. I understand that 46% of our population has been aborted. That doesn't mean that their lives weren't created. People up here acting like abortion ain't a big thing. Do you know you gonna birth that baby? Once you get pregnant, you gonna birth that baby, right? The baby either coming out dead or alive, but you are going to birth that baby. You get to choose whether you want to birth a live seed or a dead seed. How can you cry about being an oppressed minority and sitting up here crying and begging to God, oh God, oh Lord, help us black people down here, Lord. They're killing us, Lord. They're shooting all these unarmed men, Lord. We can't get no legislation passed, Lord. They're shooting our folks in the grocery store, Lord. They're killing each other, Lord. And what's going on with black life, Lord? Help us. But Lord, please don't take away our abortions, Lord. Please, please, God. We're going to die if we ain't got abortions, Lord. It's a woman's right, Lord. We need our abortion. How you sound? How you sound? Y'all want things to change? You want things to get better? Well, first thing we got to do is begin to value life. If we don't see any value in the lives that we procreate, if we don't see any value in the lives that we reproduce, how can we expect anyone else to see any value in it? How can we expect anyone else to see value in something we do not value? How? It makes absolutely no sense. I have to, because this is not worth my life. This is not worth my life. Martin Luther King left his children, left his family, their whole family, the brother, the daddy, the grandmama, left their family for what? For y'all to be up here aborting our children? I don't know. No. I don't want to die for that. I don't want to be the sacrifice. Y'all gonna do what you want to do anyway. Why am I sitting up here stressed out every day, constantly coming up under attack? Constantly got black people every time I wake up hating on me because I believe the baby should be born. You mad at me because I want your baby to live? You mad at me because I don't want to drive you to the abortion clinic? I don't want to pay for it. You mad at me because I'm telling the government to give us more than abortion? You mad at me because I'm telling the government, instead of offering illegal immigrants $450,000 to cross the border, why don't you give that to a single mama in the hood? In fact, $450,000, I don't know, maybe you can take that and split that 10 ways. I don't know. Maybe about take $450,000 and give it to the people in Buffalo so they can get a new grocery store. Now, the white life comment. Let's talk about that. I don't even understand why black people mad. Why are you mad? Why are you upset? Why are you upset because a white lady said, thank you for saving white life? Y'all don't think I'd have been up there saying, thank you for saving black life? Y'all ain't been following. Why? We've been running around screaming Black Lives Matter. We've been running around here screaming Black Lives Matter while aborting our babies the whole time and mad at white people. The minute they say white life matter, they white. White life ain't supposed to matter to them. Like, people just need something to be emotional about. People just need something to be in their feelings about. Because if abortion has been ended, then that means that not only does it save white life, but it saves black life too. Because although people like me have been blocked and have been censored, but you do have black people that, and I ain't never been silent about black babies mattering. I be at they protest, one of the only black ones out there with my doggone bullhorn talking about Black Lives Matter, save black babies. You can't imagine how many calls my godmama done got about me. Why they can't? Why they can't say they white babies? We obviously don't want to save ours. Why they can't say they white babies? How you mad? You shouldn't even be mad. And they white. They're white. They're white. They're white. Was she supposed to get up there and say, thank you for saving black babies? That would have been me. I can't wait to see them. This is a fight that I've been fighting long before a lot of you even knew who I was. I got god babies walking around here. 66 of them before they even overturned Roe v. Wade. Walking around here because Auntie Angie got in their mama ear. I got them. I've been doing this. It ain't been on a major platform, but life has always mattered to me regardless of the circumstances. Black people mad, oh, they doing this to save white life and white babies. Well, why you ain't doing it to save black life and black babies? You really mad white people trying to save their babies? Is you mad? You so mad white people trying to save their babies that you still aborting yours. That makes no sense. You's a motherfucking fool. Let me just sit there and say it for you in case you don't know. In case you don't know. See, my mama told me, she said, it's okay every once in a while to be a fool, but don't you be no damn fool. If you sitting up here mad that white people saving their babies, right, while you crying to abort yours, you out your motherfucking mind on this Sunday. We need that same energy. You can learn something from some of these white folks. We need that same energy. We are 13% of the population having 37% of abortions. 46% of our population has been aborted. You are still crying about being an oppressed minority because we keep aborting our children. We are aborting our votes. We are aborting our future. We are aborting our army. You will never become the majority if you continue to vote or believe that abortion benefits our community in any type of form or fashion. It just does not. All of these are depopulation tactics. If you notice, they are referring to us now as people of color, lumping us all in, the brown and the black people. No, we need to deal with the black people. Y'all always want to blend us in with everybody else. No, I don't have no issue with the brown people. They my friends. I love y'all. But let's talk about what it is. We don't want to talk about how many black babies really being aborted. So now we're going to say black and brown to make the numbers look. Come on, man. I know exactly what y'all do. How y'all got every color? How is it people of color against white? You got white people and then you got people of color. People in color include all us. We come in a lot of different colors. That don't mean you black. How you got white people and then people of color? So out of all the people in the world, the white people, they the only ones that deserve to stand alone? We can't stand alone. We can't stand alone and fight for our babies when we know that the reason why abortion was created was to exterminate the black race. Y'all want to act like that's not true. Y'all want to talk about systemic racism and everything but abortion. Y'all mad a white woman said we saving white life. How that don't turn a light bulb on in your brain? Why? How that don't turn a light bulb on in your brain? White people smart enough to say our numbers getting low. What black people doing? Oh, Gary Chambers running down there in Louisiana. Now, y'all know I liked the little commercial with Gary Chambers. He was smoking the weed or whatever. I was like, okay, he married, he got a black family, black mama, all that. I was like, okay, Gary Chambers, he might be for us. So I just kept watching him. I was like, oh, okay. He for abortion. Okay, cool. Then he did a whole video with an AR-15, and after you did a whole campaign video with the AR-15, now you anti-gun. I say, okay, he for the guns, he against the guns, and he for abortion. So I just happened to jump on his live night before last. I want to say when the ruler first came out, this man sitting up there listening to gospel music, talking about how it's the worst thing in the world to happen to black people for them to make it where we can't kill our children. How is that the worst? What? So I'm like, no. Y'all know me. I'll get up under anybody's skin. I'm all nice in the comments. And I'm like, no, men like you are really deadbeats. You'll be glad to pay for an abortion. You don't want to raise a child. So he's like, man, don't pay them no attention. Don't pay none of the Trumpers in here no attention. They raggedy. They mama raggedy. Now, my mama dead in the grave. Y'all know I've been known to get real ignorant, but I've been praying to God and asking him, to watch my mouth for me, because sometimes I can't watch it. I didn't even say nothing. I was very, very kind. But my thing is this. He put up a post about how we need to replace Clarence Thompson. Like, Clarence Thompson ain't the only one who voted to overturn ROE v. Wade. Why is everybody only attacking Clarence Thompson? Because he the only black one? He ain't the only one that voted to overturn ROE v. Wade. But every article, everything we see is an attack on the only black man sitting in the Supreme Court. Y'all talking about, listen, the only black man, Supreme Court Justice. He's not the only one that voted to overturn ROE v. Wade. Why are we sitting back allowing them to attack the only man that is black, that is a Supreme Court Justice? And let's talk about what he did. Because whether you like it or not, when you calm down and get out your feelings and get in reality, you will know that this black man actually voted to save black life. We vote for the people that don't even want our children to live. We vote, like, I'm looking at the news last night, Nikema Williams. That's who I ran against in the campaign. Somehow she got more votes than John Lewis. I don't know. I guess it was the suitcase under the thing. I don't know, but whatever. Listen, I'm looking at her on the news. I had people contact your office. I ain't contacted because I know you don't want to talk to me. We've been trying to reach out to Nikema Williams. We've been trying to reach out to John Ossoff. We've been reaching out to Raphael Warnock, the abortion LGBTQ plus youth preacher down there at Ebenezer Baptist Church. We've been trying to reach out to them because for one, the shooting happened here with the Asians in Atlanta. Warnock sponsored the bill. Ossoff sponsored the bill. Nikema Williams is the representative, right, for the 5th district. So we've been trying to contact them about anti-hate crime bill legislation on behalf of black Americans. We've gone over this before. Bill S-937 that they gave the Asian Americans, right, happened after those Asians were shot down here in Atlanta. Not only did they give them an anti-Asian hate crime bill, they also gave them $49.5 million from the American Rescue Fund. It also stated in the bill that they received these protections and provisions due to the last 11 months that they have endured hate due to COVID. Then it also went on to list the name of each one of the victims that had been murdered. 10 elders shot dead in Buffalo, same scenario. Here's your chance to recreate this legislation. All you got to do is cross out Asian American, put African American. All you got to do is cross out the names of the Asians, put the names of the black elders that were shot dead. In fact, you got to add 2 more. Because it was 8 of them that got shot down here in Atlanta, but it was 10 of them that got shot up there in Buffalo. And if you really want to get freaky with it, you can also get the other 8 that was shot down there in Charleston, South Carolina, where Tim Scott is the current representative, Republican representative down there. He also voted for the anti-Asian hate crime bill. So I've reached out to him too. Hey, Tim Scott, check this out. You supported this bill. Well, this is what happened to our elders in Buffalo. I'm sure you're well aware of this situation. And you also live in South Carolina. So I'm sure you were impacted by the shooting that took place down there in the church. Since you supported this anti-Asian hate crime bill, Mr. Tim Scott, why don't you support one for black Americans? I ain't heard nothing. Ted Cruz, you supported it. You voted for it. Can we get something like this for black people? I ain't heard nothing. Marjorie, look, you a wild card. If anybody can do this, I think it'll be you. Let me go get with my team and get back to you. Brian Reynolds, hey, can somebody help us out? Oh, absolutely. We'll draft the legislation. Ain't heard nothing. These people got us on Palmer Street and Nothing Avenue. Parked in a car with no gas. We ain't even got no tires on the bitch. Well, we can't even crank up and go. Crickets from everywhere. You got people that's on the Democrat side, black leaders that I know that's fighting, that's saying, hey, Democrats, where y'all at? Somebody need to introduce it. I'm telling them on that side, look, y'all, if y'all can get somebody to introduce it, I'll go and rally, lobby the people that I have connections to in the Republican Party and get them to support it. Because regardless, it's not going to pass without Republican support. So whoever gets it introduced, it don't matter to me. Let's do it. Now, we got to create online petitions, but it only took them 72 hours to introduce legislation on behalf of Asian Americans. It only took them 7 days to introduce legislation on behalf of the Jewish community after our elders was killed in Buffalo because the white boy mentioned Jews in his manifesto. We ain't heard a word from Nikema Williams about that shooting, about what happened to our people. But the minute they say we can't kill our babies, now all of a sudden, she on the news talking about she asking Joe Biden to extend his emergency powers. Well, Nikema, I'm trying to tell the people this when they silence me, but baby, you work for Planned Parenthood. Right. You were their spokesperson for the Southern region and have been for over a decade. You get paid to tell us to abort our babies. You don't get paid to tell us to let our babies live. You don't get paid to tell us how to go buy our first home. You don't get paid to tell us how to get off welfare and start a business. You don't get paid to tell us how to keep our families together and not break up with our baby daddy the minute we get mad and go put them up for child support and the whole family torn apart. And then here I am with another man, and now I got another baby daddy, and then here he is with another woman, and he got another baby mama because y'all got mad about some stupid shit and didn't have a wisdom counsel in your ear to tell you, no, let's keep these families together. They ain't telling us that. They ain't in Congress fighting for our children to have school choice. They in Congress voting for our children to have gender identity in preschool. They ain't in there voting for our children to be taught financial literacy. They ain't in there voting for the people up in Buffalo to get a grocery store. They ain't voting for us to get reparations. They're not voting to economically empower our communities. They are voting to abort our babies. What don't y'all get? How is that okay? Even if you are for abortion, how is that okay? Even if you say, hey, it's a woman's choice, but how is that okay? How is it okay that the only thing they have to offer us is for us to abort our babies? Black people, and then to have our daughters thinking it's a right. Oh, you got a choice. It's your right. How you think I feel as a mother and a parent that has carried life, experienced that, know the horrors and the trauma that come behind it, right? And I'm telling my daughters, hey, baby girls, listen to me. That's not something you want to do. Take your time. Don't get pregnant, because if we don't create the life, we don't have to end the life. If you do get pregnant, it's okay. You ain't got to have no abortion. Baby mama will get the baby. I keep the baby until you get on your feet. Don't kill my grandbaby, right? How do you think I feel knowing that in response, well, it's my choice. You don't get to tell me. You don't get to tell me what to do with my body. And you a grandmother. You trying to speak life over your bloodline. You trying to speak and save your own children. Fathers, you trying to speak in the ear of the mama and save the own life that you created. Brother, you trying to speak in the ear of your sister and save your niece or your nephew. Sister, you trying to speak in the ear of your sister and say, wait a minute, sis, don't do it. I'll help you. Auntie, you trying to talk to your niece. Uncle, you trying to talk to your nephew and tell him, no, we don't kill our babies, we keep them. Now go get that girl. Tell her to give us the baby. But they have told them to defy us, to defy our common sense, to hate your family that wants your family to live and grow. All of a sudden, we the enemies. Huh? They don't want us teaching our children, right, about safe sex. They want our children having all kind of sex with anybody, anything, at any time, knowing that it leads to what? We know because we done did it. We know. Those of us, y'all my age, y'all stop playing. We know we done did it. We know what promiscuous sex leads to. Those of you in the LGBTQ community, my friends too, how many we done buried the HIV/AIDS already? I don't even understand it. Reckless, promiscuous sex not only does it lead to disease, but what about unwanted pregnancy? What does unwanted pregnancy lead to? Abortion. What does abortion lead to? Dead babies. What do dead babies lead to? Organ harvesting. Ain't nobody I know, and if you have, raise your hand. I don't know nobody that when he got an abortion and they gave him the baby back and said, here, go bury your baby. What we sacrificing our babies for? We don't have to keep getting pregnant and then donating our babies for them to play Frankenstein on and make money off of their body parts. That's another reason why we need some real ones in Congress. If you are going to allow these women to come in and get these abortions, right, and keep the remains, keep the baby remains for your organ harvesting or whatever you're doing. If a baby's brain is selling for $27,000 on the black market, why you ain't letting the mama make the money? If you are convincing that mother and that father that abortion is health care, and they are coming, look how they plan us. Look how they plan us. First of all, they convincing us to pay them to kill our baby, right? Not only have they convinced us that we don't need our children, that it ain't a baby, it's just a clump of cells, and let's be real, because if it wasn't alive, you wouldn't need an abortion to kill it. Huh? Dead things don't grow. Somebody make me a t-shirt, send it to me. Dead things don't grow. If it wasn't alive, you wouldn't need an abortion to kill it. Okay, lifespan development. I done had 5 children. We all go through it the same way. Your mama get pregnant, you bake for 9 months, you come out a person. It's a baby. Not only have they convinced us that it's not a baby, right? They have also told us, hey, come in, pay us, right? If you ain't got the money, you can fill out this form and we can get the money from the government, right? So they getting paid, right, to end the life. Then they also getting paid on the back end, talking about abortion as health care because they're using the dead babies for stem cell research. They're using the babies to create cures for diseases that only they can afford cures for. We can't afford it. Y'all still up here struggling off of Obamacare and swear he was the savior. Huh? They getting cured of all type of terminal illnesses, and you sitting up here watching and burying all of your folks at the same time. At the same time, when has abortion ever been healthy for us? How is healthy? Ask any woman that had an abortion 10, 15 years ago if she ever forgot about that baby. If she ever forgot about the man that got her pregnant. Having an abortion don't make you not be a parent. It makes you a parent of a dead baby. You never forget that baby that was inside of your womb. And you never forget the man that impregnated you. And when you grow up, 15, 20 years from now, and you sitting around the table and you looking at all your children, oh, you better know that you gonna know it's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, or some of y'all raggedy asses 10 missing. from protesting the deaths of black men, saying Black Lives Matter, to protesting the right to end the very black lives that we create. Y'all done went from Black Lives Matter to y'all don't give a fuck about Black Lives Matter in 24 hours. It ain't even been a full 24 hours. If Black Lives Matter, how do you get black life? Ain't nobody just damn popped out the damn sky and appeared. Not even Jesus couldn't even do that. How did you get your black life? Not only are they not giving us our baby's remains when you go in there and get your abortion, when you go in there and have a baby, they don't even give you the placenta. Ain't nobody told me about all the benefits from the placenta. I'm young, I'm a mama, I don't know what's going on. I'm just going in the hospital. Now they telling us black women, I'm talking about it's the audacity for me. It's the audacity for me. It's the fact that these people have a whole executive order up on the White House right now saying that black people, black women, I'm sorry, well, you know, they done changed it now. Hell, birthing people, we chest feed and everything now. We ain't black women. We are 3 times likely to die giving birth to our children than white women, regardless of income or education. As a black woman, how does that not offend you? As a black man, how does that not offend you? What are you saying? Are you saying that I could be a black woman with all the money in the world and have access to all the best medical care in the world, and I'm still gonna die from giving birth to my children 3 times likely than a white woman? Are you trying to make us feel worthless? Or do you want black men and Latino men and white men and all of them to go to that site and read that and be like, oh, wait a minute, you better not get no black woman pregnant. They died. How did we go from giving birth since the beginning of time? Because every black person came from a black person. That means my mama, her 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 mama, mama, her mama's mama, mama, her mama, mama. Every black person came from a black person. We've been giving birth since the beginning of time, right? How is it that out of every other nationality, every other color, every other culture, they are more safe to give birth than us? What's in our skin? Is it the doctors? Is it the hospital? Are you intentionally killing us? Because my recollection tells me that birth is natural and we ain't never needed to go to the hospital to have a baby no way. Huh? My mama wasn't born in no hospital. My grandmama wasn't born in no hospital. How are we 3 times likely to die? Could it be that they're intentionally killing us or allowing us to die because black women been giving birth since the beginning of time? How you gonna come out your mouth to tell me I'm 3 times likely to die giving birth to my children than a white woman when we've been known for having 10, 15, 20 children before ROE V Wade? The agenda. Every time they talking about us in Congress, they talking about we dying from having our children. If they ain't talking about we dying from having our children, they talking about we gonna die if we don't have an abortion. If you don't understand that this is an attack on black life, and regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of your sexual identity, regardless of how much money you got, regardless of your religion, if you black, your black ass better wait. And we got our do not disturb on, don't bother us. It's like the minute I start going live and running my mouth, here they come, wanting to block it. Y'all on Bigo, let's give IG a little. Okay, we back. Hopefully you all can hear me. Okay, so the title, first of all, I want to say happy Sunday to everybody. And I hope that you all, if you didn't go to church this morning, because let me tell y'all something. I went to church, and I was somebody who said I would never stepping foot back into a church house, right? But I got up this morning and I went to church, and when I tell you that message resonated with me, it was talking about being at peace. And the message was that death is like peace, right? And so he was speaking about how now in this new transformation, you can be dead to certain things, right? dead to responding to everybody, dead to trying to prove why God favors you. Okay, listen, so that video I was just going on a rant about, this whole thing about Black Lives Matter and about where we are and people standing up, and basically everybody got something to say about us having a right to abort, but nobody whatsoever has anything at all to say about this anti-hate crime bill. So I want to get into a couple of other videos. I want to show y'all about now who they have being the spokespeople for LGBTQ. And my question was, how do Black trans men now all of a sudden become the spokespeople for this moment when it comes to abortion? We heard them sit up here and say all the time, a man don't have a right. A man doesn't have a right. The father doesn't have a say. The father doesn't have a say. But a minute a man says that he's a woman, then all of a sudden he has a say when men don't have a say. How is it that they are now taking abortion and saying that abortion is discrimination against LGBTQ? Y'all, let's pay attention to this. I want you all to be caught up on the agenda. Make sure if you can, please, please, please support the page. 700 people in here, y'all. Everybody, the Cash App is down at the bottom. Let's listen to this. These are now the new spokespeople for abortion, in addition to the Black women that we see. Remember, none of these people had nothing to say about an anti-Black Black American hate crime bill, but they all got something to say about why we need to abort our children. Let's talk about the agenda. Let's go.
We've had centuries to figure it out, and we are still seeing young people. The number of young people, Black and brown young people who are in foster care and group homes, and the way those kids are treated at 18 and 19 is not pro-life. And so for us to remove the autonomy of people who can introspectively say, this is not the right time for me, this is not something I'm prepared for, and all the other reasons someone can make that choice to say, well, children deserve to be here, we'll figure it out later. We've had centuries to figure it out.
A Black man who can't get pregnant, who basically has forfeited his right to have children because he's saying, hey, I don't want to procreate with a woman. I'm going to be the woman myself. So basically someone who has kind of forfeited their right to even parent is now somehow abortion rights is LGBTQ rights. Somebody explain to me how this even makes sense, y'all. We cannot be this slow. How is this now? And I'm not discrediting what he's saying. Yeah, we do got issues we got to deal with in regards to foster care, Section 8 or whatever. But how is this now the voice for abortion when it comes to women? And how does abortion disproportionately impact members of LGBTQ? Because last time I checked, if you are two men in a relationship, then 9 times out of 10 you will not be having a baby. Same thing with two women. It goes back to heterosexuality. Somebody help me understand this. Let's keep listening.
And we are still seeing young people go from the juvenile system to the adult system. And I'm one of those young people. I happen to get an opportunity to get access to education and support, but there's so many folks like me who are in these facilities and never coming out. And they started in a group home or foster care. So we are really going to see the mass incarceration numbers rise due to this being overturned. And we can't lose that. The number of young people, Black and brown young people who are in foster care and group homes.
Did y'all hear that? So basically they saying we can't abort them, they going to jail. So basically they saying it's better for us to abort our children because if we don't abort our children, they going to end up in prison. And this is what I'm saying about this curse being over Black life, because you're talking about bringing children into this world, and the first thing you can think is they going to prison, like their lives going to be worthless. Or let's hurry up and abort them. Or the people that's going to be impacted by this overturning of this ruling is LGBTQ. How? Help me understand that. Not only that, they're now saying because we can't have abortions that we getting ready to die, giving birth to our babies in the hospital. Check this one out, y'all.
Increase Black maternal deaths. Striking down Roe v. Wade could impact women of color more severely than anyone else. A Duke University study estimates that a complete abortion ban could increase Black maternal deaths by 33%. Black women are already 3 to 4 times more likely to die giving birth compared to white women. I want to bring in Kanika Harris from the Black Women's Health Imperative. Kanika, those are some damning stats, and this is personal from you. Talk to us about your own experience as a Black woman having an abortion and what impact this ruling will have on women of color.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I never thought in my 40s that I would be in a situation where I would have to contemplate an abortion. I was married, I had children, substantially employed, and didn't know that I would end up in that situation. However, due to my previous pregnancies, due to experiencing trauma and racism during pregnancy and delivery.
Striking down Roe v. Wade could impact women of color more severely than anyone else. A Duke University study estimates that a complete abortion ban could increase Black maternal deaths by 33%. Black women are already 3 to 4 times more likely to die giving birth compared to white women. I want to bring in Kanika Harris from the Black Women's Health Imperative. Kanika, those are some damning stats, and this is personal from you. Talk to us about your own experience as a Black woman having an abortion and what impact this ruling will have on women of color.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I never thought in my 40s that I would be in a situation where
y'all see how they using Black women.
I was married, I had children, substantially employed, and didn't know that I would end up in that situation. However, due to my previous pregnancies, due to experiencing trauma and racism during pregnancy and delivery.
Striking down Roe v. Wade could impact women of color more severely than anyone else. A Duke University study estimates that a complete abortion ban could increase Black maternal deaths by 33%. Black women are already 3 to 4 times more likely.
I had to play that clip right there for y'all more than once because here is the thing, right? If we are seeing all of these people, and I'm getting ready to just show you a few clips, you got Mayor Lightfoot over in Chicago basically saying F Clarence Thomas. You have Michelle Obama, who didn't tweet anything whatsoever about the elders that died in Buffalo, tweeting and letting women know where they can go get abortions. You got Stacey Abrams tweeting, letting women know where they can go get abortions. Not only do you have that, but I want y'all to see this clip right here from Nakima Williams. Hold on 1 second. Let me show y'all this so we can tie this all in together. Let's do this. So, okay, this one. This the one. Yeah, I need y'all to hear this. Hold on. Let's go over here. This is what they fighting for when it comes to us. This what they asking Joe Biden for executive powers for when it comes to us. Check this out.
You want to go over to the White House? Does your caucus, you want to go over to the White House and perhaps try to change the president's opinion on that?
So, Jen, thank you for covering this important conversation in our nation's history. Right
so, everybody, this is Nakima Williams, the lady that I ran against in the 2020 election. She's asking Biden to call it a national emergency.
More Black women die within 1 year of childbirth in Georgia than in third world countries. So that's why I signed the letter with my congressional colleagues, CBC Women, to call to action the state of emergency that Black women will face as a result of this decision in Roe v. Wade being overturned. So what I know is that we have to do something to protect women, to give people the decision-making power, to get the care that they need when they need it. And so that's what we called on the president to do. This is a state of emergency for Black women in this country who are already in a member of Congress to make sure that I'm standing up for the people that I was sent to Washington to represent.
And I talked to one of your colleagues, Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, in the last hour, and she said that she wonders whether lifetime terms for Supreme Court justices should be reconsidered. What did you think?
Well, Jim, it looks like we're shaking up a lot of precedent now because we just overturned ROE V WADE, which was the law of the land for 50 years. And so I know my colleague, Mundir Jones, has a bill to expand the courts so we are in 2022, and apparently things that we have been able to depend on for decades, centuries in this country are not the case.
Now, let me break down several things about Nikema Williams, because many of you may know that Nikema Williams is who I ran against in the 2020 election. Now, not only did Nikema Williams work for Planned Parenthood for 17 years as the vice president of outreach, right? She also, right, is an A1 abortion supporter. So we have Nikema Williams right now, a Black woman, right, who ran against me, right, for Georgia, on television right now telling me in Congress her way of helping Black women is by asking Joe Biden to sign an executive order ensuring they have abortions.
Exactly where we are in this country, where members of the Republican Party are. And when Clarence Thomas laid out the other things that he would consider overturning, like the right to contraception, the right for people to marry who they love in this country, even though he's in an interracial marriage, he didn't touch on the loving decision. But we have to look at these things that people are bringing up right now and realize that these issues are interlinked. This is an intersectional fight, and this is far from over. The people will have the final say when we show up at the ballot box, because we know that 68% of the people in Georgia, in the Deep South, don't agree with the decision that was made to overturn Roe v. Wade.
Now, let's keep going. So not only did she work and was paid by Planned Parenthood as a spokesperson to Black and brown communities for 17 years to encourage Black and brown women to have their abortions, they're now tying the women's right to have an abortion to gay marriage. Now, who you choose to love and all that ain't got nothing to do with Black women having abortions. That's number one. We've seen 10 Black elders shot dead in Buffalo, New York. We didn't hear Nikema Williams open her mouth for any type of anti-hate legislation to be passed on behalf of those Black Americans. But here we see Nikema Williams, representative for Georgia District 4, ready to ask the President of the United States to expand emergency powers for Black women to be able to abort their children. She is saying the reason why Black women, my sisters, my daughters, my cousins, my aunties, right, my friends, right, my people, the reason why Black women need to have abortions is because we are number one for dying when it comes to giving birth to our children. First of all, the devil is a lie, okay? And I come against the curse of death against Black life, right? We getting ready to reverse everything that they have spoken over, right? The next generation that hasn't even been born. You have people that represent you, Black America, that are right now advocating for your children to be aborted, not for your children to live. These people were absolutely silent when our elders were shot dead in Buffalo. Now, instead of you asking the president to extend his emergency powers, right, to give us, medical treatment or whatever it is to make sure that we aren't number one dying from giving birth to our children, instead of asking for that, you're asking for us to be able to abort our children. Somebody fill me in, because I don't know how that is the answer. I need someone else to fill me in on this. Now, this narrative that they are painting, and I have to be, mindful that I'm listening to someone who worked for Planned Parenthood for 17 years. I have to be mindful that I'm listening to somebody who gets paid to be a spokesperson for Planned Parenthood. I have to also understand that I'm listening to someone whose campaign was supported by Planned Parenthood. I have to also understand that when it comes to this issue of abortion, every time they market to their demographic, it is to Black women. I have to also understand that when they are protesting and going into these churches and got blood in between their legs, that it's white women. So that white women are the enforcers. They want to push abortion, but they want to use Black women as the face of abortion. Let's keep going. They want to use Black women as the face of abortion. Now, in my good common sense, and I've said this before, and anybody that wants to jump in and help me out, in my good common sense, what I know is that Black women, you've been giving birth since the beginning of time. I've said this before. Something's not adding up. Something's not adding up. Birth is a natural thing, right? Before we were going to the hospitals, right, allowing them to give us drugs and take our placentas, right, and inject us with whatever they wanted to inject us with. Our grandmamas and great grandmamas and them were giving birth inside the house or inside a shed out in the back, right? And some of y'all right now even end up giving birth in the car on the way to the hospital. I don't know, at home before you even leave. Birth is a natural thing. Every animal, right, on this earth gives birth, okay? It is amazing to me that somehow out of all of the animals, all the bears and the tigers and the pigs and the dogs and the cats, right? Out of all of these animals, and then you have all of these humans, you got the Asians, you got the whites, you got the Latinos, you got all of these different cultures, right? How only Black women are the ones dying from giving birth to Black life. Somebody got to say hello. Somebody got to say, wait a minute. The math ain't mathing, baby. Some ain't adding up. Something ain't adding up. How is it? I mean, this is so unheard of. If Black women are dying from giving birth and they got the numbers, obviously we dying in their hospitals. Obviously, they're doing something to make sure that we're dying. I don't know, somehow AIDS broke out and they make sure only Black men died from that. Somehow COVID broke out and they made sure that it was the Black community that died from that. Somehow now there's a maternal death rate and they making sure that only Black women are the ones that are dying from that. Excuse me, I need to know what's the difference between me and that white woman. Since the president of the United States, Joe Biden, and his administration did Black Maternal Health Week, and they released the whole executive order stating that Black women are 3 times more likely to die than white women, regardless of their income or their education. This is up on their website right now. So you telling me it don't matter how much money I got, even if I could afford the best in healthcare, I'm still 3 times likely to die than a white woman. Now, I need to know what's the difference between me and that white woman. Somebody need to give me a little bit more understanding. I need to know what's the difference between me and that white woman, and why is it that that white woman is safe to carry and give birth to her children, and I'm not as a Black woman. And as a Black woman, you hit me with 2 things at one time. 1, you telling me I'm going to die having my baby, and then 2, you turning around and telling me that abortion is health care. Why is it only Black women? Why abortion ain't healthy for white women? Huh? Why white women ain't dying from giving birth to their children? What's the difference in her womb and my womb? What's the difference in her birthing process and my birthing process? So if lawmakers like Nikema Williams and these spokespeople for Planned Parenthood, baby, if you want to do something about Black women dying from giving birth to their children, then the answer is not making sure that they abort their children. Because somehow you getting rid of 2 of them at the same time. You killing the baby and the mama dying. What's going on with Black life? Y'all, there it is. What's going on with Black life? What's going on with Black life, y'all? Let's be honest about this for a minute. Let's just open our eyes, right? We might have been born at night, but we wasn't born last night. They hitting us from too many different angles. If we have our children, they're saying we dying, and then they turn around and telling us that abortion is health care. So the mama dying, the babies being aborted, and the black men being transitioned. Houston, we have a problem. Black America, we have a problem. If you, and another thing that I was saying, and I'm getting chills talking about this because this is so serious. And for those of you all that donated, I know you haven't seen me in a while. Thank you so much for donating. Y'all don't worry about the hair. It's all over the place. Y'all know how I get when I come on and I want to just get a word right quick. These things just not adding up to me. For the White House to put out on their website that we're 3 times likely to die than white women giving birth to our children, regardless of our income or education, is a hell of a statement. And it decreases our value. Abortion decreases the value of life on the baby, stating that we are 3 times likely to die than white women. Every black woman should be offended. Every black woman should be offended because there are men that are reading that. Our children are reading that. Our daughters are going to be scared to get pregnant. They're going to think they're going to die. Men are going to look at that and think that we're less than, that they need to go with maybe another culture, maybe somebody that can actually carry their children without dying. That's an attack. For us to be walking around believing that we're going to die from giving birth to black life is an attack and a lie and a curse all in itself. To hear these congressmen, to hear these people, all of them saying, hey, black women gonna be impacted because they the ones dying, but the only remedy you have for us is killing our baby. Like, that ain't good enough. Like I said before, even if you are pro-choice, that's not good enough. That's not good enough for me. It's not good enough for you. It's not good enough for my daughter, my sister, your aunt, your granny, your mama, our nieces. It's not good enough. If they have $53 billion to send over to Ukraine, they should have $53 billion to invest in the proper health care for black women, not the type of health care that aborts our children, not the type of health care that sexually transitions our sons, because remember, this is an attack on black life. Black life is in the scrotum of the black male. We shouldn't be upset if we see white people celebrating, saying, hey, we saved white life. We shouldn't be mad. We should be glad. We should peep game. We should be just as happy to save black life as they are to saving white life. There is no excuse that I get on Instagram or I get on social media and every post I see, whether it's from the BET Awards, whether it's from Meg Thee Stallion, everybody talking about us aborting our babies. I was just listening to the transition in music. My son was over here earlier today. And I was like, son, when we in my days, like I'm some type of old lady, I say, but we listen to baby making music. We've gone from baby making music to baby killing music. We don't went from R. Kelly, half on the baby, to Meg Thee Stallion, pop the Plan B, kill the baby. Did you hear me? Can I say that again? In one generation, we have gone from making baby music. We done went from going half on the baby to popping the Plan B and aborting the baby. Nowhere ever in this fight for civil rights, have Black women ever been on the forefront of a fight that murders their own offspring? At what point do we as a people, and I know us Black folks, we have a lot going on, but a lot of us, we don't fool with Satanism, right? A lot of us, the majority of us good people at heart, we may have a different understanding of religions, but we know the difference between good and bad. We know the difference between good and evil, right? And the majority of the folks that I know, my folks, we don't fool around with darkness, things that are evil. When you see Satanists and witches on the front line for abortion, representing blood and children and child sacrifice, you have to begin to say, wait a minute, okay, even if I am pro-choice, I can't align with this, right? Because me and the Satanists ain't got nothing in common. I'm scared. I don't even like the dark. My husband already know when he come in the room, that's when the lights go off. I don't even like the dark. I don't like scary movies. Baby, I'm not playing with you. You want to go to the haunted house and see something funny? Go with me. I do not fool around with the darkness. Even if you say, for whatever reason, wait a minute, I've been pro-choice all this time, but I got to stop and I got to sit back and I got to look and I got to ask myself, why am I aligning myself with witches and Satanists? Not only that, but sit back and ask yourself, am I really, really, really in my mind believing that me not having a right to abort my own offspring is a form of oppression? Us believing that we are being oppressed by our government if we can't abort our own children. Now, let me say this and I'm going to get ready to close. I want to say this. When, let's say, 3-4 years ago, we wasn't hearing all this fuss about abortion. But it's because you had people on every side that could understand. You could understand the story of a young woman saying that she was raped and didn't want to be forced to carry the baby. You could understand the story of, a woman saying that she had experienced incest and didn't want to be forced to carry the baby. You could understand the stories of medical emergencies or some type of serious deformity and a person not wanting to be forced to carry the baby, right? You could do that. But the people that you have to blame for the Roe v. Wade being overturned are those people themselves, because y'all went from that 1% of just having abortions when it's cases of rape or incest in a medical emergency to just using abortion as a form of birth control, from performing abortions in the first 3 months of pregnancy to aborting a baby all the way up until the moment of birth, right? Like you went way too far, because there are still people, right, in this world that have common sense. There are still people in this world that know it's wrong to kill a fully formed baby. Although there are some people that saying it's wrong to kill a baby, period, that wasn't enough. You had to go all the way up to aborting babies up until the moment of birth, and down in California, 30 days after. Now, not only that, but they're talking about people in the Supreme Court talking about coming back, overturning gay marriage. Now, for one, I'm not against gay marriage. I think that's your business. I think, if you grown, you an adult, that's who you love. I think that's your business. As far as religion go, we all gonna be held accountable. That's between you and God. It ain't my business to try to make nobody live according to the Bible. My business is to make sure that the people that can't protect themselves are protected, mainly our children, right? Grown people, that's their business. But we went from gay marriage to now you got children not only at the Pride Parade, in the Pride Parade. We went from gay marriage to you got the children not only at the drag shows, in the drag shows. We went from gay marriage to completely sexually transitioning our children. Not adults, children. You don't think that people aren't going to fight that? You don't think that people going to say, hold on, wait a minute now. You done got carried away. Enough is enough. The people that are in the LGBTQ movement, if you feel as though your rights are on the verge of being taken, then you need to be standing up and you need to be fighting back and you need to be putting it in to what we know is not right. So we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to, one, value Black life. You can't say, hey, I want these people to stop killing us. We want these police officers to value us. We want the Democrats. We want the Republicans. We want them to value us. We want them to know that we are worth, being economically empowered. We want them to know that we deserve more than abortion. Well, stop asking for abortion. I can think of a million other things we could be asking Congress for besides the right to abort our children. Ain't none of them illegal immigrants over here asking them to abort their children. They coming with their children. I can think of a million other things we can be asking Congress for besides abortion. I can think of a million other things Congress can offer us besides abortion. Regardless of where you stand, that is not the only thing that should be on the Congress floor. Abortion and us dying from giving birth to our children. What happened to reparations? What happened to school choice? What happened to being safe in school? What happened to access to loans and grants? Have we forgotten our way? You are satisfied with a Congress that will only recognize you as a Black woman when it's time to die giving birth to your children or time to abort your baby? That's the only time we are worthy of being recognized. That's the only time they want to talk about why they need to act or why Joe Biden needs to extend some type of emergency powers. Enough is enough. Listen, I want to thank the people that supported tonight because I told you I'm not going to be on here long. Let me come on here and thank the people that supported the channel. I appreciate you guys. And I know I didn't go in tonight, but that's okay. We are back. I'm tired of being censored. I'm tired of having my page blocked, about nothing. That's the whole thing about it. Elmira Banks, thank you, sis, so much. Denise Stewart, I appreciate you. TR, Lachaya Hall, Lucy, Jacorian, I appreciate you so much. Who is this? Hyena, I think that is. China, you know who you are. Thank you, baby. William Bishop, Carlton Edwards, and Eric Lowe, Darth Lowe, you always support her. I appreciate you, brother. And Calvin Jones. I really appreciate those of you that have been watching and supporting and tuning in, guys. And I'm getting to a point now where it's like, I feel like it's still a lot of work to do, but I really feel like that I've done my work. Like, I feel like I got in and did the work that needed to be done with criminal justice reform. I got in, we've done the work that we wanted to do with ROE V Wade. Like, I've been fighting for pro-life prior to this was even an issue in mainstream media. And I'm finding myself now where I really kind of just want to enjoy life, Like, we have absolutely no representation whatsoever in Congress. I don't have faith in any party when it comes to what's best for Black Americans. And I think that I want to be more about community. I think that I have a lot of insight where I can help people understand politics. But as far as being in politics, like I'm over it. I'm over it. Like I can't correct the whole system that's designed to fail us. Like we're designed to fail. We're designed to exterminate our own race. Anytime you seeing people crying and begging God for the right to abort their own race while mad at another race for saving their race, you know we just too far gone. You know we just too far gone. So I just appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. I'll be back in a couple days. I'm going over to Patreon, y'all. The Ash Show, we're going over to Patreon. That's going to be our new platform. And I got more stuff coming for you. I just want to tell everybody to just stay prayed up, stay in good spirits. Keep your eyes open. And pray. Pray. Watch over your children. Protect your children. And let's begin to value life. I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Bye.